Hiya folks, it's Kikoskia here. I asked for your questions for a 10-year Q&A and you provided. A lot of questions indeed, and I'm going to go through them in rough categories. I'm starting with a generalist category concerning Let's Playing, and then I'm moving on from there. There's going to be no game playing in the background so that you can play whatever game you want to play, or listen to whatever music you want to listen to. However best you take in the information that's here. There's going to be quite a bit of it. And so, I shall get started with a question that I was expecting. Why did you start Let's Playing? Well, I did watch a fair few Let's Plays before I started. Quite a few Let's Players I watched a lot of, mainly RPGenie. I was a big fan of RPGenie's Might and Magic Let's Plays, and I've watched all of them at least twice. And eventually I got curious about a game that I really enjoyed when I was younger, and still do, Lands of Lore: The Throne of Chaos. And I looked on YouTube back then, and I couldn't see that anybody had Let's Played it in English. I'd seen that a few people had Let's Played it in German, but not in English, and I thought, I could do that. I know this game very well. I could Let's Play it. And so, quickly I found a headset and bought it, and I found a way to get Stereo Mix working back in the days of Stereo Mix, and before I knew it I had recorded some videos. And then I uploaded the videos, and I thought, I can do this, I can do the whole game, and then upload them, and show people a game that I really love, a game from my childhood that's near and dear to my heart, and boy was I not prepared for Let's Playing in general. It's difficult, I realised very quickly, but I went through and Let's Played the entire game, not expecting anyone to watch, but then people started watching, and they wanted to see something else afterwards, and I decided, you know what, I quite like doing this. I'll keep doing it. And so then I started doing Stonekeep and Albion and Lands of Lore 2 all at once, and that was a little bit too much, and I actually burned myself out a tiny bit there. And after a very short break, I think it was just a little under a month, I went back to just playing one of the games, playing through that, and then another, and that's how I had my original schedule of just playing one game, going all the way through, and absolutely obliterating the internet at home, because uploading videos pretty much killed it for everyone else. And it took 20 plus minutes to upload an 80 megabyte video. It was a long time ago when I started, but I started because I wanted to show people games from my past. And in effect, I still am doing that, a little less than I was before, because I'm playing games quite a lot now that I've never played before, but it's as much a experience for me, discovering new games, as it is for the people watching, discovering games they've never played, or new things in games they have. Next question. Favourite Let's Play? Now that is a difficult one. I have done a lot of Let's Plays. I actually checked for this very question. I have done hundreds of Let's Plays. That's how many. And to pick one of them as my favourite is exceptionally difficult, but I'll try. I really enjoyed playing through Ultima 7. That was a very long time ago. I don't even remember all the things concerning that Let's Play. I really should check bits of that out again, just to see if my memory is accurate on that. I really enjoyed doing that one. I really enjoyed playing things like Lands of Lore, Albion, Stonekeep, Lands of Lore 2, for the first time, and for some of them the second time as well. But my favourite Let's Play, now that is difficult. I don't think I actually have a favourite Let's Play, but there are some that I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed playing through Ultimate Doom and Doom 2. I really enjoyed playing Ultima 7. As I said, I really enjoyed playing Ultima 8. I didn't think I would, but I really enjoyed playing that. It's fair to say that I don't have a favourite, but I do have lots that I really liked. But yes, if I was going to pick one game, it would probably be one of the earlier games that I did, like Albion or Lands of Lore or Lands of Lore 2. Really enjoyed playing Lands of Lore 2. Next question, sort of linked. Favourite memory from Let's Playing? My favourite memory from Let's Playing? There are lots of memories that come about from Let's Playing. But to be honest, I think it's the fact that I've met so many amazing people through Let's Playing, like my friends Halloween4545, Klyker, and everyone else. All those people I would never have met had I not have started Let's Playing. There are so many people that I've become friends with due to my Let's Playing, and that is my favourite part of Let's Playing. How I've met new people, learned new things, and broadened my horizons both in gaming and beyond gaming because of my Let's Plays. What is my favourite game genre? Role-playing games. Definitely role-playing games, and not a particular kind of role-playing game either. I like many different kinds of role-playing game, although I have noticed that I tend to veer towards the 90s style dungeon crawler. But I do really like role-playing games. And then there was the question, what is your second favourite game genre? That is a little more difficult, but I think it's first-person shooters. I don't play that many on the channel, but I do like first-person shooters, older first-person shooters especially. I like playing Doom, Doom 2, Final Doom, I like playing Quake, Unreal Tournament, I really like Unreal Tournament, the original, and also, I think, 2004, is it? The one with vehicles? I really liked that one as well. But I do like first-person shooters, quite a lot. What are your tips for Let's Playing? I do get asked this quite often, people asking if I have any advice for them, and I have a few things that I generally say that I'm going to say here. The ultimate tip for Let's Playing is that you need to enjoy doing it. If you're going into Let's Playing and you don't like the games you're playing, it's going to show when you're recording them. When I'm doing a Let's Play, I make sure that I'm going to enjoy playing it. Even if it's a game that's not very good, I need to want to record it, because if I don't want to record it, why am I recording it? As long as you're enjoying doing what you do, playing games that you want to play, that's the best advice I can give you. Apart from being yourself, always be you. Play the games you want to play, record them how you want to record them, and upload them at the schedule you want to upload them to. And the people will come to watch your content. You will find people that will like what you do, and they'll watch what you do. I can't say that it will happen quickly. It didn't happen quickly for me, but that is my advice. Just be yourself, play what you want to play, and enjoy doing it. Because ultimately, you're doing this for fun. And if you're not doing it for enjoyment, it's going to show. How do you keep Let's Playing fun and fresh? There are a number of things that I do to make sure that it remains fun and fresh. To start with, I have multiple games going on at once, which means that I'm never recording the same game all week. I currently have 3 games going on at once. I used to have 4. There was a time when I only had 2. But there was always at least more than 1, except for the very beginning when I only had 1 game going on at once, but then again, I was only uploading 10-minute videos back then, and 7 10-minute videos can be recorded remarkably quickly. But I digress. The second thing is I personally try my best to keep at least one of the games a different game genre than the others. At the moment I have a dungeon crawler, a top-down game in the same vein of Zelda, and I also have a platformer going on. They are all different, and they all provide different experiences. Sometimes I'll have 2 role-playing games go on. The Let's Replay game will be a role-playing game, and the main one will be a role-playing game. In which case I try my best to make sure that the other game I'm playing is different. Apart from that, make sure you're not doing this all the time. If you don't spend all day recording, editing, and everything else, you'll find that it will remain fresh and fun. If you're spending all of your time doing it, eventually it starts to become a slog, and before you know it, you're dreading recording. And I have had that happen sometimes. I have sat down and gone, oh dear, I need to manage to get 3 videos done. That's what happened when I had the point where I didn't want to do 4 games at once. It was getting so difficult to record games and videos that sometimes I would spend an hour recording 1 video. That does sometimes happen either way, but I don't want it to happen all the time. And so, just make a variety in what you do, and don't do it constantly. And then it will remain fun and fresh. At least it remains fun and fresh for me. Your mileage may vary. Next question. Do you play the game and record the audio afterwards, or do you talk whilst playing? How much is scripted? I record the audio and the game simultaneously, and none of it is scripted. Not a single bit of it is scripted. Quite often I wouldn't even have room on a screen to have a script, And even if I could, I don't. I prefer to just record what comes to mind. And that makes my videos what they are. I haven't had a script for a Let's Play ever. I think the closest thing I've ever had a script for is at one point I did a 500 subscriber video, and there was a script for that because it wasn't an announcement video per se, it was more a short comedy sketch, and for that I did have a script. And I did have a script for Kamulon in Brief. I did write that in advance, but that again wasn't a Let's Play video, that was more of a comedy sketch thing. And so, to answer that, I record the game and the audio simultaneously. None of it is scripted. How long does it take to edit videos? I will say that a couple of years ago I would have said not long at all. I'd have recorded videos. If there were any really big problems in it, like interruptions or a big audio glitch, I would edit them out. But then I would just go, okay, compress the video, be done with it. Nowadays it takes quite a bit longer, because I go through the videos and make sure there aren't any things like a microphone pop, or make sure there aren't any weird noises that the microphone has caught, like a squeak of a chair or something like that, and I edit them out as best I can. That is why sometimes in a game video you will see a slight jump or something like that. That is because I've edited something like that out. I tend not to edit much else out. Very rarely I will cut to getting back to somewhere if I've died. It doesn't happen that often, but it does take quite a while. If I start recording, say, 3 videos at 20 past 8 in the morning, and I'm done at, say, 10 o'clock, I could still be working on those videos at 1 in the afternoon. It can take quite a while, though not all of that is editing. Some of that is the videos actually compressing. But it does take a lot longer than the video length itself, and that is for me at the moment to make sure that the videos don't have those things that I don't want in them, like the audio issues or anything like that. It does take a lot longer than it used to, that's for sure. What is your audio setup? My audio setup is remarkably simple. I have a headset here. It is a headset that could be plugged into 2 jacks, but I have it plugged into a USB thing, and it's plugged into the front of my computer. That pretty much has been the setup since I started, even the same kind of headset. The only difference is that sometimes it's been plugged in with the jacks rather than a USB. At the beginning it was, and my computer was not very well grounded, which caused all of the high-pitched whining noises from the computer to come through on the recording itself. And that's pretty much it. That's all I've ever done. It's not a very complicated setup, I know, but that is what it is, and I imagine when I build a new computer it may get slightly more advanced in that I'll probably have a different kind of headset. What was the most difficult game to get working? Well, I know the answer to that, and it wouldn't be something that would happen now, but when I originally played Lands of Lore 3, it just would not work on my computer at all. It wouldn't play, it wouldn't record, I didn't know how to solve it. I really wanted to Let's Play this game. This was back before things like GOG were about, and I was playing the game from my CDs. You can tell by the loading screens, they're quite long near the end of the game, but that's pretty much what happened even if you weren't recording back then with the CDs. Eventually, I tried to install it on my dad's computer, and funnily enough, it worked. I didn't know why. It must have just been the fact that the computer had something in it that made it work, the different motherboard. I couldn't say what it was, just that it worked and that it recorded, and so what I had to do when I wanted to record Lands of Lore 3 was that I would record it on my dad's computer and then take the raw videos and move them from my dad's computer onto my computer to then edit. My dad wasn't exactly happy with the situation, and I tried my best to make sure I recorded when he wasn't using the machine or wasn't in. But that was the most difficult game to get working. I don't think I've ever had so much difficulty with a game since then. A game will either record or it won't. But there was no reason that I could see that Lands of Lore 3 shouldn't have recorded. Except the fact that for some reason it didn't agree with my computer. I don't think I'd have that difficulty now. What's been the most difficult part of managing your channel/content? Well, Keeping the schedule is quite tricky at times. Sometimes I really didn't have much time to do recording, and yet I found ways to do it. It usually meant sacrificing what free time I had to do the recording and the editing and the uploading. Sometimes issues with uploading videos would be making things more difficult. Generally, I think the most difficult part of managing it for me, up until recently, was the comments. I was really bad at keeping track of comments, and it sort of culminated in the UFO Aftershock, where I was playing the game really suboptimally, and I wasn't paying attention to people saying that I was. And when I realised, I felt dreadful, and I then started playing more to the strengths of what I could do in the game. I was being really conservative with what I could do, and really, I could have just steamrolled most of the world with the group that I had. But I didn't, because I didn't remember doing that when I was younger. I probably did, I just didn't remember it. And since then, I've been checking comments a lot more. What other things are difficult? Generally, keeping the schedule is the hardest part. Recording 8 videos a week, editing, compressing them, uploading them. Sometimes when I go on holiday, I have to record a buffer, which means that I need to record 2 weeks worth of videos, and that can be challenging. I think I would do it the same way I did last time when it comes up again, which is that I would just record all the videos very quickly in 2 or 3 days, and then I would edit them afterwards. It would be exceptionally difficult, and I generally have to spend every single day of the week doing it, but the videos must keep going up, even when I'm on holiday, and that is how I make sure that happens. What monitor do you play older games on? The exact same monitors that I use for all the other games. All I do is I simply play them in a window. I play them to a windowed resolution, and then I enlarge the video size when I'm editing. I typically tend to play games, for instance, I think I play Stonekeep in a 640 by 400 window. And then when I'm editing it, I increase the size 2.5 times, and then I add borders to make sure that it fits to the resolution I want to upload it to. It means that the RAWs are a lot smaller, and generally it makes it a bit easier to see, for instance, if I'm recording or anything else like that. And generally I like playing games like that in smaller windows. Reminds me more of how I played them when I was younger. That said, I never played them in windows that small, but I probably played them in similar resolutions if nothing else. Are there games you want to Let's Play but currently can't? The only thing I would say to that is that right now this computer is rather old. I am planning on replacing it at some point, but circumstances right now make it a little bit difficult to do so. Right now I don't have that much hard drive space to retain raw videos. I tend to keep the raw of a video until it has been uploaded and has stayed uploaded for a whole day. And games that would have exceptionally large raw video files are currently off limits to me, purely because I wouldn't be able to retain all of the RAWs. Tiny Barbarian, for instance, has quite large raw videos, but not too large. I know, but if I played a graphics-intensive 3D first-person shooter, they would be extremely large raw videos. They would compress down quite small, but they would still be very large RAWs. It's not a critical problem, and I have plans within a month or so to deal with the storage problem, and also find a place where I can put all of my videos that I've recorded into one location. I actually have pretty much every single video that I've ever recorded in one form or another on this computer, just in case I need to look them up. Admittedly, I did lose the originals of most of the older ones when an external hard drive decided to die. But this time round I'm going to have a solution that's going to be a little bit more resilient to one hard drive dying.